Welcome back to the Mark Moses Show right here on the brand new Sports Radio 1560 The Fan. And joining me right now here on the Club 52 hotline to talk all things NBA Finals. His name's Chris Pirtle. The Ultimate NBA Insider is his blog. And the finals have been fantastic. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's an overcast Wednesday on Florida's East Coast, but I'm not complaining.
No, you're not. The first two games both go to overtime. We were talking about earlier this week here on the show. Phenomenal games. And then game 3, 20-point lead, and then it turns into a ball game. This is one of the best finals I think I've ever seen. How about you, man?
It's good. So far, so good. We've had 3 real good games. First 2 obviously went to overtime. And this one very easily could have last night. So 3 competitive games. I'm certainly not complaining once again.
Okay, explain to me Matthew Dellavedova. He's not fast. He's not the best shooter. And then all he's doing is scoring points, trying to shut down Steph Curry, and maybe helping LeBron get a ring. Explain to me this story, man. Is it a Disney movie? What is it?
This is unbelievable. We're talking about an undrafted rookie, or second-year player, I should say, undrafted, though, in this league.
Yeah.
Played his college ball at St. Mary's, which is in the Bay Area in California. You've got to give him credit. Anybody not giving Matthew Dellavedova credit at this point is possibly delusional. The guy scored 20 points last night. He's shutting down Steph Curry for the most part. Now, Steph Curry did have a good game last night, but for the most part, he has shut him down. And you've got to give this guy credit. You saw the circus shots last night, the three-point shots, the circus shot, the runners. You've got to give this guy credit. It's an amazing story, Mark.
See, what's interesting is people are bringing up Patty Mills, Australia guy, goes to St. Mary's as well, helps in the finals last year. But Mills is like an 8, 9, 10 rotation guy. This is the second best option behind LeBron. I'm just in utter shock, man. I got nothing else to say. What about you?
Well, you certainly can't question this kid anymore. I think he played close to 40 minutes last night. He went to the hospital after the game last night with severe cramps. He's leaving it all out on the court, and this is exactly what the Cleveland Cavaliers needed at exactly the right time.
What about LeBron? The guy's averaging about 40 a game, almost a triple-double a game. He is missing a lot of shots, but is this just the game plan? LeBron, you're the offense, just throw it at the rim every play?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be in those occasional passes over to Dellavedova and J.R. Smith in the corner. But, yeah, first things first, get it to LeBron, let him assess the situation, and take it from there. So far, he's got the Cavs to 2 straight wins. They're on the brink of the first title in Cleveland since 1964, since the Cleveland Browns won the championship. So got to be an exciting time in Cleveland right now.
We're here with Chris Pirtle, Ultimate NBA Insider, is his blog, recapping Game 3 of the finals. Thursday night will be Game 4 from Cleveland. I saw that stat. I know you love the stats, man, where they talk about the first 3 games of a finals. LeBron now has the most points ever, beating like Jerry West, Michael Jordan, all these greats. Do you respect that stat? Because I know those other guys weren't shooting as much as LeBron was.
Yeah, you've got to love the stat. Anybody that can do that in the NBA Finals when you know the other defense is doing everything they can to stop you, it's completely impressive. I think a lot of Miami Heat fans might be saying, gosh, LeBron, if you would have done that last year in the finals against the Spurs, you might still be in South Florida. But the reality of the situation is he didn't. He's doing it now, and it's very impressive.
Let's talk about your Warriors. What are they not doing right? I mean, why are they down 2-1 in this series right now?
Well, first of all, the front court has been just terrible. Draymond Green, he's had back issues, but nobody wants to hear about back issues on a 25-year-old guy. Mm-hmm. Cleveland is missing 2 All-Stars. The front court has just been pathetic. Draymond Green averaged 14 and 11, along with 5 assists in that Houston Rockets series. This series, he's only giving the Warriors 9 points and 7 boards. Andrew Bogut has been a no-show. He only had 4 points last night, only had 2 points the previous loss. So this front court has to come alive. One thing I was encouraged about last night, and you know how much I love David Lee, Mark, he got in the game last night, and he changed that game. When he got in the game, they were down by close to 20, and they obviously came back and made it a very competitive game at the end. You throw another good player onto that Warriors team, against a depleted Cavs team already, and that only bodes well for the Warriors in these final games. Also, another thing to keep in mind, Mark, since banging his head in Game 3 of that Houston Rockets series, Steph Curry was 29 of 82 in the previous 4 games going into last night. But last night, he shot 50% from the field and scored 27 points. So hopefully for the Warriors' sake, hopefully Steph Curry's back, and hopefully David Lee's back. And for them, hopefully that'll be enough to get them over the hump.
Well, I know a lot of people are saying, Lee's always been a defense liability, but do you have to sacrifice that, let him play, so then you also help Steph Curry get open more?
Yeah, you let David Lee play. The reality of the situation is David Lee's counterpart is Tristan Thompson. So if he's a defensive liability, this is the perfect time for him to be a defensive liability. Tristan Thompson, I think, had 10 points last night. You don't see him scoring in double figures too often, but no, if he's guarding Tristan Thompson, bring him out there because they need David Lee's offense. They're not getting it from Bogut. They're not getting it from Green. Bring David Lee in.
See, is Lee going in for one of those guys? Do you put Iguodala on the bench? I mean, what is Lee? Is he a 3-4? That's what I get confused on.
Well, Lee is actually going in a little bit for Bogut. Bogut, like I said, has been terrible. Only played 17 minutes last night. Festus Ezeli, of all people, actually played 18 minutes, the backup center. But David Lee is going to spell Andrew Bogut at times, and then he's also going to come in and relieve Draymond Green at times. Neither one of those guys have been too smoking red hot, so he's going to help relieve Bogut at times, and he's going to help relieve Draymond Green at times. So he'll play the 4 and the 5.
I loved your stat you said a second ago about ever since Curry hit his head, but you're right, last night 50% from the field, about 10 for 20. Is he ready now? We start the engine here. Okay, maybe we can start hitting some more of these shots for Curry.
Yeah, he better be ready because we see what happens when Curry's not ready.
Yeah.
And even last night when he had a pretty good game, they still lost this game. So they need MVP-type performances from Steph Curry. Mark, in Game 3 of that Rockets game when he banged his head late in the game, he scored 40 points that night on 12 of 19 shooting. Those are the types of performances that the Warriors are going to need from Steph Curry in order to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Do you like how Klay Thompson played last night?
He was a little sporadic last night. I love the way he played in the previous game when he had 34 points. I believe last night he only finished with 14. They're going to need a little bit better effort from Klay Thompson as well if they're going to beat these guys.
Can we both agree that Houston didn't play defense? Can we just agree on, especially what we see in Cleveland's doing now?
No, yeah, you're right. We can definitely agree on that. It's amazing how the brand of basketball is so much different in the East. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have dictated pace. They've slowed these games down. They use the majority of the 24-second shot clock, which is obviously a smart idea. The less that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, less time they're going to have to shoot the ball, the better. So you got to give David Blatt, Tyronn Lue, and that coaching staff in Cleveland tremendous amount of credit. And I guess we can throw in Coach LeBron James because I'm sure he's involved in the mix as well.
What about LeBron where after the game, they asked him, what are these, hidden agendas you want to come across? He says, now's not the time. Is it, in your opinion, do you feel like it's, hey, take that, Pat Riley, I could win a championship without you? Because that's what I feel like what LeBron might say. What about you, man?
Well, he'll have the freedom to say it if they win it. And but if they don't, let's keep this in mind. If they don't win the title, this will be 6 times that LeBron James has been to the NBA Finals. And if they don't win it, that means he's only won 2 out of 6. If you look at the great ones, especially in our generation, Mark, Michael Jordan, he went to 6, he won all 6. Tim Duncan, he went to 6, he won 5. Kobe Bryant, he went to 7, he won 5. Shaq, he went to 6, he won 4. If LeBron James is only 2 out of 6 after this series, it's not going to look too good on his resume. So it's in his best interest to do all he can to win this.
Okay, win or lose, especially what LeBron's doing with these cast of characters, has the narrative changed with him, with the nation, where maybe he's not the 100% villain he was with Miami? Because I feel like he's turning back into this underdog type guy again.
Well, you have to admire the way that he plays team basketball. Anybody that's going to give you close to 9 assists per game from the small forward position, that's unheard of. So you have to admire the way the guy plays team basketball, the way he pulls down 12 rebounds in a game. Those are power forward type numbers. So you can't help it. And if you're a true basketball fan and you love team basketball, I think that's one thing that so much of us liked about last year's San Antonio Spurs. You have to love this about this year's LeBron James.
It's unbelievable. I loved when the 2-on-1 fast break, Dellavedova throws it to LeBron for the slam, but he first gave it to Dellavedova. It's unbelievable as a story. Game 4, Thursday night. How many games are we going? I think we might go 6 or 7. What about you?
Well, Mark, when you asked me my prediction before these finals started, I said it'll be the Warriors in 7, and I'm not going to waver from that. I still think the Warriors are going to win this series. I think David Lee and Steph Curry are going to play big-time basketball in Game 4, and I think the Warriors are going to win the series in 7 games.
Yeah, see, I can guarantee the Warriors are going to win Game 5 at home. They're not going to lose again. Like that's how I feel, but it's going to be phenomenal. His name is Chris Pirtle. Follow him on Twitter, Chris Pirtle42, Ultimate NBA Insider. Chris, thank you so much, and I hope I can get you on again. All right, man?
You got it, Mark. Have a great one.